Welcome everybody to the RigER webinar 137 with today's agenda focused on power generation and operations. My name is Danny Lazaryevsky and I'm a sales manager here at RigER. And before we get started, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about RigER. If you're new to RigER, this is kind of our genesis. We started 10 years ago with a main focus on digitizing the oilfield rental and services operations to help facilitate communication between the operations department and the other business teams. And so today that remains true, and with our customers, we're continuously developing new features on the platform. And thank you all, because we listen to you, to your feedback, and bring together these weekly webinars for you to learn about the new features. So RigER can really be broken down into 6 key functional areas. And to better explain how operations and other teams benefit from a one-stop shop, one data system, one operation system, I'll describe a little bit of detail about each key functional area that helps you manage assets. For instance, that starts with the purchases from cradle to grave. You can track assets in RigER from the first purchase with all of the documents such as the POs, bill of lading, and you can track them all throughout operations so that you can see in the asset management and equipment rental category where your assets are, what is the status of them, are they available, are they in repair, and you can track the records for those specific serialized units. RigER also focuses on price management, and this starts with sales from your first customer call when you agree on a price and have either an MSA or general rental agreement. You can select the right items so that you can then communicate to the rest of the team and dispatch the right personnel, the right equipment to complete the job. And that price control continues all the way through to the finance department, where you can finally close off that invoice. And with RigER, you can facilitate that invoice and make it possible to have next day invoicing, cutting down on your day of sales outstanding. So RigER has evolved to include a number of features. We've started to make sure that we can get you operationally ready, so that from day one when you launch, you're able to price out a quote, dispatch the right team and equipment into the field, and invoice when the job is completed. As we evolved, we've also added on additional modules that focus on Subrentals, HR, maintenance, repairs, job costing, and many more. This makes RigER configurable and customizable. So RigER works in a way where it's device agnostic. This makes it easy for you to communicate between the office and the field, even if you don't have field connectivity. You can work offline, off of your tablet, off of your phone, and even your laptop if you so desire. So that makes the cloud system easy to communicate between the folks in the field. And this year is very exciting. We're celebrating 10 years of RigER and launched RigER X. So we will talk to you about the new features that we're bringing. And today's topic will be on managing the rental fleet, tracking all the units and components for power generation. So I'd like to thank all of our customers that are current and all of the folks that are joining us to learn more about RigER. You make it possible for us to understand what's happening in the field. We take your feedback. We work on it to develop the platform. And thank you for giving us the opportunity to work with you. Okay, I will turn it over to Michael Maltsev to go over the agenda and kick off the webinar.
Thank you, Danny. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar. Today, we will talk about power generation and how RigER can help the oilfield rental companies to manage the business. And we'll talk about different aspects of the business: sales, operations, dispatching, maintenance, repairs, the inventory, inspections, backups, reservations, and a little bit about the implementation results and benefits of the RigER implementation. So let me show you, and let's talk about the power generations in the oil field. Usually, when we talk about the power generation, there are several ways how the energy consume energy to create energy. The industry is very diverse and could use different source of the power, but most common it's the natural gas and diesel generators, which could be a mobile unit or more stationary units, standalone, or build some blocks of the power generation units. Depending on the structure, depending on the organizations, could be a different approach, but most common approach because that disperse of the oil field operations and different units required a different set of power in a certain period of time. So most popular right now, it's a mobile generators unit when provide set specific type of power to the oilfield operations. When we talk about RigER for power generation companies, we talk about different modules, different configurations. Some of our clients use a portion of it. Some of our clients use all of them. It really depends on the client needs and the client stage of development and digitalization. So let's talk about the operation cycle and how we use RigER for the power generation companies. First of all, we're starting with the price setup and unified all the prices because sometimes different regions could have different price structure, different price types, etc. So again, unification gives us an ability to use the same approach for the entire company. So the price setup means that we put all the rental prices, services, and consumables. The price module give you an ability to set up the customer price agreements and apply different discounts if any of those are in place. The price management in RigER set up in two different levels. One is the general price list when we have the general price and the price agreement, which will be a client specific. When we start the particular job, the job price will be created from the price agreement if we have this for that particular client, or the general price will use. If the price not assigned of those two documents, then the price will be entered manually by the salesperson. And some of the organizations, they have a advanced structure and they have divisions within the clients, so they can set up different prices for different divisions. The next module, a sales module, when we start building and providing and creating jobs, and fill out all the job details like client, location, well, rig, the engineer, site supervisor, job type. The good communication tool between sales and operations could be a job technical requirements, a specific template connected to the job type. So the sales can provide to operations all the requirements, technical requirements, say number of units, the structure of the units, etc., etc., etc. All the requirements that help operations to prepare for that job. And of course, we can track job statuses and job approval process, both from the client standpoint, from a client side, and from our management side. So every single job can be approved by client and by management. And after that, it's become approved, and operations start preparing the units and preparing the um, start building the schedule. So the entire rental job in RigER consists from several documents. So RSA is a rental service agreement is main document, which again utilize prices from the price module, so price list, price agreement. We have several rental tickets. Usually it's a delivery ticket and a return ticket, but some organizations in oilfield power generations use startup ticket as a separate ticket, which running usually on a it could be same day or could be a couple of days after, and which will start the rental period. And of course, when we talk about rental operations, it could be repair cards, it could be a sales ticket, a service tickets. When we add additional consumable services to the job, and everything goes to the final invoice. So the rental job could have several statuses as open, for approval, approved, active, and of course, when we invoiced everything, the job status will be closed. Another thing is the dispatching, understanding the availability of all the resources, people, units, consumables, etc. So, and of course, the dispatcher or operations manager run the different dashboards, understanding what's available, how busy people are, start job planning and scheduling, and of course, when everything goes back, the manager run the quality control. So this is an example of the activity log dashboard, which will show you the entire list of rental units, and the rental units will show you the generators, so where they at, where they're located, and what is the maintenance status of each particular unit. The next step is the asset management, and RigER is famous of the asset management focus. We started developing software with that focus and continuous improve and add new features to that area. So we talk here about rental units and unit numbers, collecting all the details about those units, including history, when it was purchased, number of jobs, all running all the attributes, the kind of specific characteristics of the units. Another thing, you can combine and put together different rental units and use combo units or packages, which is a different combinations of the rental units. And of course, every single unit can have components in it, and you can run assemblies and allocate the particular unit and split it into separate components. Repairs, inspection, and maintenance, which we call a technical history of the unit, showing what was kind of a step-by-step services of the unit. Intercompany transfers, when we move unit from one department to another department. Some organizations use home department to identify the expenses and revenue, allocate the revenue between different departments, different areas. And of course, we have sales and disposal. So the entire cycle, equipment cycle, is very advanced, because you can start from the vendor, from the purchases, build assembly in the shop, so you can purchase components and put together and build your own unit. Of course, some of the units could be disposal. Some of the units will move from one shop to another shop, from one yard to another yard. We have the sales component. The items could be sold to the client, and of course, the rental is kind of a major movement from yard to the field and back. Uh, Maintenance could be run in the field and in the yard, inspections as well, and repairs could be run on in both in yard and in the field. And there are several other applications when we have a sub-rental, in and out operations when we use a third-party rental units, vendor rental units, and providing them to client, and another a third-party repairs, which we call rework, could be run here as well. When we talk about the next module, the oilfield rentals, when we track daily rental revenue, showing how that revenue changed from group to group, from department to department, day to day. So providing full pictures and understanding the trends, understanding the how the situation is developing. And definitely we have different types of tickets: delivery, startups, return, swaps, rig movement, when the client notify us that they move the rig and the entire units move to that new location. The rental breaks sometimes, and reservations and backups. It's another big thing in the oil field. The reservations means that we reserve the unit for the next job. We inspect the unit, green tag the unit, and it's ready to go as soon as the client green light that job. Backups, it's a separate unit, dedicated unit as well, inspected and green tag, but they are works as a backup to swap the deployed units in the area. So usually we see that for 20 working units, the company can back up one or two units in the yard. Oilfield rentals asset management includes a lot of different features, lots of different details. As you see, there are a bunch of different features which we utilize for the asset management. Next thing is the field services. Of course, we move to the field and back using employees and sometimes contractors. We generating field tickets, tracking time, and of course, tracking safety. So, field technician in the field can run the field tickets, or safety documents, vehicle inspection, job safety analysis, the timesheets, job summary, repairs, inspections, maintenance, etc. So lots of different features included to that field ticket or rental ticket, depending on what kind of transactions we have in this particular situation. And of course, everything could be run on mobile, on the computer, there, depending on the setup and depending on the company requirements. Definitely, mobile become very popular and most useful feature for the field services. So, of course, one of the requirements is offline online mode, and different applications for different purposes: sales, purchase, field services, safety, repairs, inspections, and maintenance. All those included to the mobile applications. We can use attachments and digital signatures as well. So the most popular application, we call it Field. RigER Field application, which includes rental ticket, field tickets, field notes, repair cards, inspection cards, and maintenance cards. So altogether, the technician can run all the jobs and create all new documents, add details for the current jobs, and provide all the notes about job done, collect signatures, attached files, pictures, documents, etc. Another big module which we use for each operating cycle is purchases. Of course, we require resources. We purchase some of the services, some of the consumables, and sometimes rental units. And purchase is a big time-consuming process, and we help our clients to make it smoother. So from the PO request to PO approvals, using different PO approval scenarios for different line of businesses, you can use different paths of the approvals, order received, build control. The system will show control for each purchase order, what was received, what was invoiced. Preferred vendors is another way how to improve the automatic generation of the purchase orders. And of course, we have different ways how the manager can approve the purchase order using Microsoft Teams, using Telegram, using mobile applications, and sometimes even email could be a good tool to approve the purchase order. So again, the author purchase process, it's it's kind of simplified, but we have vendor operations and field service connected, and from the PO request through the PO approval, receiving, receipt, and then everything goes to the accounting for payment and closing purchase order. From the document flow perspective, the initial document as a PO request generated, we have digital approval, we have purchase order, freeway control, PO, BOL, and purchase invoice, and we have the ERP integration, and mobile purchases give us an ability to generate requests, approve purchase orders, and the latest edition will have an ability to build BOL in the shop using that mobile application. The next and big portion of the oilfield power generation rentals will be inventory. The inventory means consumables and parts which we use for maintenance, repairs, sometimes sell to the clients, such as a fuel, etc. So RigER gives you an ability to see the full cycle of inventory tracking, the part numbers and batches, bill of materials, safety and minimal stock setup, and control this every single week. Parts price analysis by vendor, by region, by preferred vendors, and showing you the full picture about the price changes. The inventory turnover analysis showing you fast-moving parts and slow-moving parts, and parts which probably never moved, and optimizing stock. We can sell them and moving forward with that and improve our cash flow as well. And of course, maintenance and repair templates give an ability to enter maintenance and repair documents faster. So the inventory management, of course, we have different type of the inventory master data organized, but the main idea is move from purchases to the sales or consumptions. Consumptions could be assembly, disposal, inspections, maintenance, repairs, and others. So lots of movement happening here, and definitely every single department required their own parts. And another thing, it's the part using by trucks. So this is another. So in this case, the truck considered as a sub department, and we truck parts by trucks. The final document, which usually finalize the entire job, is the invoice. And in the oil field, we have lots of different details which identify how the job should be invoiced. Rental and service invoices could have different billing cycles, multi-well invoices, and allocations between different wells, automatic invoice generations, and of course integrations with ERP and e-billing systems, such as Open Invoice and Cortex. So usually the integrations with ERP, not limited by invoices, it's a more advanced integrations, connecting asset management and move assets and connect to the fixed assets. Billing and invoicing, invoices and revenue goes to the accounts payable. The expenses connected to the general ledger, hours and rates goes to payroll, and we run pre-payroll report to generate payroll records. And of course, to do that, we require to exchange HR, employees and contractors information and items, which is equipment, service inventory, all that connections. We see that the clients use this in a different ways. Some of the clients have all those four bridges. Some of the clients use only two or three, depending on what kind of setup we have with the client, and of course purchases as well and companies. So right now, RigER has the more than 20 different integrations with different systems, including a sales tax, Avalara, a digital signature, of course, office applications, business analytics, telemetry and messengers, the ERP systems and accounting. It's probably the biggest one. And e-billing, it's Open Invoice, Cortex, Ariba, etc. This is a kind of a very simple overview of what we have as our offering to the oilfield power generation rentals. Yeah, I'd like to provide some case studies and cost of some of the examples how we help our clients. Some are this is a real example with one of our client. They have the Excel spreadsheet report, and the before RigER implementations, they have daily updated by two persons, like 4 hours, like half time of their job was to create this report, and the report was just providing the availability of the units. So they do this every single day, go through the yard, check all the equipment, see what weight they have, and provide this information to the management and sales team. Of course, it wasn't very inefficient, and after RigER implementation with some kind of a customization, because they have some specific requirements, the reports start running in 2.4 seconds. Definitely significant improvement and cost saving for the clients. Another example with one of our client, so mobile power generations around 2,000 rental units. The parts budget was before RigER implementations around 1 million purchases for parts monthly, and 6% of those purchase major operation expense was maintenance. So the challenge was before RigER implementations, the schedule was a very simple. So the maintenance was run by months, the calendar months, and it was January monthly maintenance, February monthly maintenance, the March was quarterly maintenance, then again 2 months, and then semi-annual, and then annual. So of course, annual was the biggest and most expensive maintenance, and it was a kind of a disproportion in December of the expenses. And again, some of the units are they not required monthly maintenance because they, for example, idling in the yard and not moving anywhere. So it was kind of a challenge and required optimization. So first thing what we did when we started implementation of the RigER, we building the individual schedule for each unit. So each unit start running on their own schedule based on their deployment days. and for the number of deployment days, the signal pop up that this unit required maintenance. Another step, the next step was maintenance module implementations, when we start using not the calendar days, but deployed days, and with utilization around 70%. So that gives us a kind of a 30% savings. And the third step, when we implementing telemetry integrations, and we start collecting running hours daily, and this increase the precision of the usage of the units, and again, shifting from the deployed days to running hours, deployed hours rather, we receive an extra 10% of savings. So the result, of course, it was not happening in the same day, it was several months, but the result was around 40% of savings, because not all the units required that maintenance. So what we see as the benefits of the implementation of RigER. First of all, one system to manage business operations. We usually see that RigER can replace 3 to 4 different software, which unconnected in the organization. Sometimes we see that we're replacing paperwork, which is not really case nowadays. More and more organizations start building something as at least Excel spreadsheets or whiteboards. But the most crucial example was when RigER replaced 12 different applications, 12 different systems, and combining everything together. Definitely, this give you one source of truth, and the management, not arguing with each other, because it's not a secret that different departments, they have their own system. Say, for example, you have the separate system for sales, for operations, and accounting, and sometimes it's really tough to figure out what is the right numbers. Building everything together, and when we implement in RigER, we describing all the business processes. And through that exercise, we optimize the business processes. We start asking questions: why that happened this way? What's the purpose of this step, etc. So analyzing, understanding, and may make the operations running smoother. And that standard procedures increase speed of operations. So with the speed of the the company reduce the delays, the internal delays, which give them a good perspective and good providing good client service. And another thing which we running in almost in each organization is the unified and standardized nomenclature and the pricing. We saw lots of examples when for different regions, clients use different pricing, and even sometimes different approaches to the pricing. It's not a secret that rentals could be treated as a daily rates or a flat fee, or you can use another approach like weekly or monthly rates. And of course, it's really depends on your agreement with the client. But from the organization standpoint and from the corporate management, the entire system should be the same to make numbers comparable, and to understand the benefits and understand the bottom line. And of course, when we are implementing the system, we are creating the job costing, understanding the individual job results, profit or loss, comparing revenue from the job and direct expenses. Another big thing which we focusing, and we usually see that the clients getting that, it's a cash flow improvements. So first of all, we start invoicing earlier. So the next day invoicing or the same day invoicing in some cases. We had a client in Texas. They have different departments, and they collecting all the paper tickets no, in 2 weeks. Usually standard delivery was 2 weeks. It was really tough for them to manage those things in Excel spreadsheets. And so the average invoicing period for them was 21 day. After RigER implementation, we shrink it to one. Was kind of a significant improvement of the cash flow of the organizations. Of course, it's a one-time improvement, but again, on the long run, you're receiving a good practice, and the clients have adjusted to that. The another thing is the optimizing a part stock, so you understand that what kind of parts you need, what kind of parts you have, because sometimes it's really tough to find it. And of course, significant improvement of rental fleet maintenance, that example which I just described, definitely improve the cash flow. And another benefit, exceeds clear visibility for dispatching, availability, deployment, time tracking. So you understand what you have in every single moment. In real time, you can manage the operations. This is it. It's a very short example of what we can do for the rental companies in power generations, and we are ready to answer your questions. Danny, do you have any questions?
Yes, we have just one, and if you have any questions, you can submit them below in the Q&A section. So the first one is, what is the technical requirement from a third-party GPS provider to integrate with RigER to capture asset telemetry data? So is there a technical requirement?
Yeah, usually when we talk about integration with telemetry system, it's very simple. The telemetry systems, how it works right now, each telemetry system the unit number, and we have unit number in RigER. So at the end of each day, we're receiving CSV file by email, or it could be done as an APA. So the CSV file showing us the kind of a two columns, unit number, and the second column will have the hours, total hours, and that's it. So the system receive it, calculated the difference between previous record, and showing you and updating the maintenance schedule for the unit. It's very simple. We usually do not have a very big technical difficulties. It's a very simple CSV file.
Very good. We don't have any more questions at this time. If you'd like to learn more about RigER, you can visit us on the rigor.us website and contact us either to request a demo or give us a call. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much, and yeah, talk to you very soon.